a stranger DMed me. I didn't want you to find out this way, but you deserve the truth. Attached were photos of my partner laughing, kissing, and holding hands with someone else. Shaking, I showed them the pictures. Instead of denying it, they smirked. Now you have a reason to leave. I nodded, smiling coldly. And now you have a reason to check your bank account. Moments later, their smug expression vanished. I was on my lunch break, sitting in my car, mindlessly scrolling through Instagram when I got the notification. A DM from an account I didn't recognize. I didn't want you to find out this way, but you deserve the truth. Attached were 5 photos. At first, my brain didn't process what I was looking at. I had to squint, like I was expecting the images to somehow change. But they didn't. It was my partner. Kissing someone else. Holding their hand. Laughing. The kind of laugh that reached their eyes. That soft, happy look I thought was only for me. I felt my stomach twist. The pictures were clear. No way they were old. No way they were fake. Then I saw the timestamp in the corner. Taken last night. My hands shook as I scrolled back up to the message. I forced my fingers to type. Who are you? Almost instantly they replied. You don't know me. But I know you. And I know you love them. But they don't love you back. I'm sorry. I just stared at my screen. My ears were ringing. I don't know how long I sat there, rereading those words, looking at those pictures, my chest getting tighter and tighter. I forced myself to breathe. Forced myself to think. Was this really happening? I tried to tell myself there had to be a logical explanation. But deep down, I already knew. I was just waiting for them to lie to my face. When I got home, I felt like I was watching myself from outside my body. Everything looked the same, but it wasn't. It wasn't my home anymore. It was a place where I had been lied to. A place where someone could cheat on me and still come back like nothing happened. I sat on the couch, waiting. My phone was still in my hand, the pictures staring back at me. I had seen every detail now. What they were wearing. The way their hand rested on the other person's thigh. The way they leaned in close, completely at ease, like this was normal for them. The door opened. They walked in, setting their bag down like it was any other day. Like my entire world hadn't just imploded. Hey, babe. I looked up. My heart pounded in my ears. I didn't speak right away. I just turned my phone screen toward them. Their eyes flicked to it. No hesitation. No confusion. No gasp of shock or stammering excuse. Instead, they smirked. Actually smirked. Like this was funny. Like I was funny. I felt my breath catch in my throat. Well, they said, voice light, easy. Now you have a reason to leave. I had been prepared for denial. Prepared for excuses. Even for anger. But I hadn't been prepared for this. I gripped my phone so tightly my fingers ached. I could feel my body shaking, but my voice came out steady. And now you have a reason to check your bank account. For the first time, their expression changed. I watched them frown, reaching for their phone. Their thumb moved quickly over the screen. Then they froze. Their head snapped up. What the F? Their voice was sharp now. Not smug. Not amused. Where's my money? I leaned back against the couch, crossing my arms. You never noticed all those little transfers? I asked, tilting my head. Their jaw clenched. How did you? You gave me access, I said. You wanted me to help with bills, remember? For emergencies, you said. They were breathing hard now, scrolling frantically. You can't just take my money, they snapped. I let out a small laugh, but there was no humor in it. I didn't take anything, I said. I took back what was mine. Every dinner, every trip, every gift. Every cent I ever spent on us. Turns out, when you add it up, it's a lot. Their face was red now. Their hand clenched around their phone like they wanted to crush it. You stole from me, they said through gritted teeth. I shrugged. Call the cops then. Tell them how your partner of 5 years took their own money back after you F-ed someone else. Silence. I watched their throat work, watched the way their eyes darted, desperate for something to throw back at me. But there was nothing. I pushed off the couch, grabbing my keys. Before I walked out, I turned back one last time. Have fun paying rent alone. And then I left. For the first time in years, I felt light. I walked out that door and didn't look back. The air was cool against my face, but my blood was running hot. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my fingertips. I got in my car, hands still trembling as I gripped the wheel. I took a deep breath, staring at the dashboard, my own reflection in the dark screen of the radio. I should have felt devastated. I should have felt like my whole world was falling apart. But I didn't. I felt free. And then my phone buzzed. Not from them. From the same unknown number. You finally left? I stared at the message, my stomach twisting. Who was this? I had no idea if they were a friend, an enemy, or just some stranger with a conscience. But right now, they were the only person who knew the truth. I texted back. Yeah. Thanks for telling me. 3 dots appeared. Then disappeared. Then appeared again. Finally, another message. You need to be careful. There's more. I frowned. More? Nothing. I waited, my pulse speeding up. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. But before I could send another message, my phone rang. It was them. I ignored it. Then a text. Come back. We need to talk. I scoffed. The audacity. I turned off my phone, threw it on the passenger seat, and drove. I stayed with a friend that night. The next morning, I turned my phone back on. 32 missed calls. A mix of texts, some angry, some desperate. And 1 voicemail. I almost didn't listen to it. But curiosity won. I pressed play. Their voice came through, low and controlled. The anger was gone. Instead, they sounded cold. You really think you won? A small laugh. That's cute. A pause. You should come back. Before things get worse for you. A chill ran down my spine. I played it again. And again. Before things get worse? What the hell did that mean? I didn't have time to figure it out, because a second later, my phone buzzed. Another message from the unknown number. Check your email. Now. My stomach dropped. I opened my email, fingers stiff, breath shallow. There it was. A new message. From them. And attached? A video. I hesitated before pressing play. Something about this felt wrong. My ex wasn't the type to send long text messages, let alone a video. They were the type to smirk, shrug, and walk away. But now, after one night apart, they were suddenly desperate. Suddenly threatening me? My thumb hovered over the screen. Then I pressed play. The video was shaky, like whoever filmed it was holding the phone at an odd angle. The screen was dark at first, then a face came into focus, mine. What? The hell? I was sitting in a car. Not my car. I looked distracted, like I was scrolling through my phone. The timestamp in the corner was yesterday. Someone had been watching me. Recording me? My stomach clenched as the camera zoomed out, showing the parking lot where I had been during my lunch break, the same time I got that first message. The video ended. A second later, another text popped up. Still think you're in control? I locked my phone, gripping it so tightly my knuckles turned white. My heart pounded in my ears. Who was doing this? Was it my ex? Were they having me followed? Or was it the person who sent the first message? The so-called stranger, who had helped me? I swallowed hard, my thoughts racing. I needed answers. But before I could figure out what to do next, there was a knock on the door. I jumped. My friend, sitting across the room, raised an eyebrow. Expecting someone? I shook my head, getting up slowly. I walked to the door, peering through the peephole. Nobody was there. I waited. Nothing. Then, just as I was about to turn away, my phone buzzed again. Another text. Open the door. A cold wave crashed over me. My fingers went numb. This wasn't some online game anymore. Someone was here. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. The text glowed on my screen like a threat. Open the door. But when I looked through the peephole again, the hallway was empty. My heartbeat hammered in my ears as I turned back to my friend. Someone's messing with me. Their expression shifted to concern. Like your ex? I didn't answer. I didn't know. My hands were cold, my stomach twisting itself into knots. Then my phone buzzed again. New message. This time, it was a photo. Of my car. Right outside my friend's apartment. I turned and bolted for the window, shoving the curtains aside. There, under the dim glow of a street lamp, was my car. But that wasn't what made my breath hitch. It was the person standing beside it. Hood up. Face shadowed. Phone in hand. I couldn't see their features, but I didn't need to. My whole body knew. It was them. My ex. A car passed on the street, its headlights flashing across their face for a split second. And in that moment I saw it, that same smirk. The one they gave me when I confronted them. The one that said I already won? Rage flooded through me so fast I felt dizzy. I grabbed my keys. Where are you going? My friend asked. Ending this. I muttered. I stormed outside. They didn't move. Didn't flinch. Just tucked their phone in their pocket like they'd been waiting for me. You lost your mind? I snapped, stopping a few feet away. You think following me is gonna make me come back? They just smiled. Relax, they said. I'm just here to talk. Talk? I let out a bitter laugh. You don't talk. You manipulate. You lie. You cheat. So go ahead. Say whatever bulls you have prepared, then get the hell out of my life. Their smile twitched. That smug mask cracked just a little. You think this is all so simple, huh? Their voice was quieter now, sharper. You think you can just walk away and be done with me? I clenched my fists. That's exactly what I did. They exhaled through their nose, shaking their head. You don't get it. You never did. Get what? I shot back. That you never loved me? That you wasted 5 years of my life? Their jaw tightened. That you're not the only one I lied to. The words hung in the air like smoke. I frowned. What the hell does that mean? They sighed, running a hand through their hair like they were debating something. Then, finally, you think I cheated on you once? They let out a dry laugh. Try multiple times. Multiple people. The one in those photos? Just the latest. My blood turned to ice. I shouldn't have been surprised. But something about hearing them say it, so casual, so unbothered, felt like a punch to the gut. They shrugged. I figured you'd leave eventually. So I just got ahead of it. I stared at them, my mind a storm of fury and disbelief. You're actually proud of yourself, aren't you? I wouldn't say proud. They tilted their head. More like relieved. Something snapped in me. I lunged forward before I even knew what I was doing. Not to hit them, no. I reached for their phone. They yelped, jerking back, but I was faster. I ripped it out of their pocket and took 3 quick steps away before they could grab me. Give it back, they shouted. But I was already unlocking it. Their password hadn't changed. Stupid. I tapped their messages. Scrolled. Opened one conversation at random. And there it was. Hundreds of texts. Different names. Different people. Some dating back months. My vision blurred. It wasn't just cheating. It was an entire second life. My hands shook as I turned the screen toward them. You are sick. They ran a hand down their face, letting out a frustrated sigh. Oh my God, here we go. You played me. For years. You strung me along, made me think we had something real while you... My voice broke. I swallowed hard. How do you live with yourself? They looked at me, their face unreadable. Then they said something I'll never forget. I didn't love you. The words were like a gunshot. Everything inside me went quiet. No anger. No pain. Just nothing. Because in that moment I knew. I had spent 5 years loving a ghost. Someone who never really existed. I took a slow breath. Then, calmly, I tossed their phone at their feet. You know what? My voice was steady now. You did me a favor. They blinked. What? You showed me exactly what I was worth to you. I turned, heading back toward the apartment. Nothing. They didn't chase me. They didn't call my name. They just stood there, watching, as I walked away. And this time, it was for good. In the days that followed, they tried to reach out. Calls. Texts. Fake apologies wrapped in manipulation. I ignored every single one. Because they were the one who lost. Not me. They lost someone who loved them. Someone who gave a damn. And me? I finally found someone worth fighting for. Myself.